Today, I'll be talking about why I haven't been active on YouTube or other communities online for the past few months. I've been struggling with my math because my math professor doesn't want to teach the material to the students. He rather make the students teach the materials to themselves. And I have other classes besides elementary statistics. Okay, I have a global history course, or say world history course. And this professor for world history is also not really teaching the material properly, or not only properly, going over the material so the students can have an idea how to do the assignment. Every week, my professor assigns an assignment, or you could say assignments. There's more than one. And I have trouble when it comes to multitasking. I have trouble doing it in this environment, knowing that I'm not getting my sleep because my environment becomes more intense the more I push myself to concentrate on my college courses. So I'll be going over YouTube first. So around April 2021, I've uploaded a video where I showed my face. And I had a female subscriber who subscribed to my channel since October of 2020. And I was the one who found her channel on YouTube. And I made a comment. And she was intrigued by my comment. And she subscribed to me and I subscribed to her. But she haven't made any response or left any comments on my YouTube videos until I showed my face on April 2021 on several videos. There was a video where I was talking about how I was situated in a shelter and how I was treated by people. And regardless of how much time I spent applying for jobs, like office jobs, data entry jobs, uh, fast food, restaurant jobs, people are refuse to hire me, no matter how much effort I put. Or there would be times where I would actually have a telephone interview, and it seems that the person who's interviewing me seemed to not interpret me clearly. They get something else rather than the intended meaning, as if someone is interfering with the communication at that time, which is the multi-agent quantum AI computers. And when I tried telling the interviewer what kind of job this is, the interviewer said to me that I don't sound interested in the job, which is not true. I wanted to know more about what this job does. And then she said to me that once she said to me that I don't sound interested, she said that I can call her back another time, and then that's it. She hang up the phone. I'm like, all right, what the hell just happened here? Or there would be a time where I'm getting an invite for a research study, and the person who called me at the wrong time because I'm surrounded by noise in Jamaica Avenue. Jamaica Avenue is really a noisy place to be receiving a call because the people, or say the promoter, there's promoters out in front of the stores. They promote products so people can actually go in the store and see what kind of products there is in the store. So there was a guy in front of me who was actually playing loud music and on the microphone, and she couldn't make out my voice, and I couldn't really hear her, and so she hanged up on me. That's what I'm talking about. When any time that I actually have something good for me, a good opportunity, such as a research study. This research study pays a lot of money, thousands of dollars. because this was about cluster headaches. I get cluster headaches a lot. No one, I couldn't do nothing about it. She just hanged up on me. So I was just talking about what I've experienced living in a shelter and what I've experienced since I graduated high school during June 2012. I was living during June 2012. I was living in a shelter in the Bronx. So that's outside my school district and also my sister's school district. Me and my mom and sister would have to travel 1 hour and 45 minutes to Queens from Bronx to Manhattan to Queens on a train. And I was so exhausted. And I couldn't really concentrate on my schoolwork the way I wanted. And my mom was getting tired of walking up these long old school stairs. Sorry to say these stairs these they're from the train station. There's long stairs you have to keep running up to get the train, and it takes at least 2 minutes to get to walk up. Well, for me and my mom, it takes a long time, and we run out of breath. My mom's keep complaining about her legs, and she said that if she stays in the Bronx, she's gonna die. So I remember before me and my mom and sister lived in a Bronx shelter, I was living with my father, and at that time I invested $740 on a HYIP program. Passive. I wanted to make some sort of passive income through that while I was attending my 12th grade classes at the time, and I had to deal with my father and his girlfriend. They were both intoxicated, and my father would just all of a sudden just snap at me and his girlfriend too, or she would create situations where she would say to me that I would spit up all over the mirror, or I'm doing things to her, or she doesn't want me here. Started creating excuses, started making excuses so she can find a reason to kick me out of her house, so she can have her own privacy. When I'm really there because I'm attending school in the morning time, and I come back during the evening time or sometime the late afternoon time. But after I left the Bronx shelter with my mom and sister in September of during September 2012, we lived in Florida, but I was supposed to go to university for advanced technology in Arizona because I wanted to study video game designing, but I didn't have enough money, so my mom said let's go to Florida. And since September of 2012, or rather than saying September, since I graduated high school in June 2012, living in a shelter, and I had to put in for jobs every single day. I was put in for all these different jobs, like fast food restaurant jobs, office jobs when I was in a shelter in the Bronx, and no one would call me. And the same happened when I was living in Florida. My mom told me to apply for a position packing up groceries and doing the cart in Publix, but no one. This was at Publix, I mean, and not a single person hired me. I put in for cooking at Wendy's. I got rejected the same day. I put in. It was an application online. They said that they're not hiring at this time. Put in for Walmart, stocking, and I put in when I put in for jobs, I put in for any time, no matter what it could be weekend or weekday, anytime. That's what I do, so I can get hired right away. But it seemed that no one is interested in hiring me. Been put in every single day, and I started getting depressed because my mom started saying that I'm not interested in working because she sees me not making any progress, and I just started living in a hotel with my mom and sister. I was just mostly in the room all the time, trying to find a way to make money on the internet and find a reason why these things are happening to me. These things are what I refer to as being placed in the situation where I don't have no jobs, no income. People seem to refuse to hire me. People, I'm just talking about how people think about me. So I remember that we had to move out from the Claremont. So that was the first hotel me and my mom and sister. Well, the first hotel me and my mom and sister was living for months. We had other hotels that we lived in I mean, not stayed in for at least 2 weeks, but this hotel is the first hotel me and my mom and sister lived in. And other people who have other people with small families lived in Claremont Hotel. So they couldn't live there because they weren't paying their rent. So the owner had to get the people who was living in a third building evicted. This also includes my family. So all of us got evicted. I believe that my mom, was it my mom? Yeah, me and my mom was the last ones to get evicted. And I remember the hotel we were staying in. So this is clear, man. The hotel that me and my mom and sister stayed in was empty. We were we were pretty much the only people living in this hotel at the time for at least 2 weeks. And I just remember being in the room alone, like wondering if someone's gonna knock on the door, what's gonna happen, because I couldn't pretty much leave the room, because if I leave the room, me and my mom and sister would get locked out. If I leave the room, then we wouldn't be able to get in. We would have to move. I believe it was a month. I believe it was like empty for the building was just pretty much empty, and me and my mom and sister was just alone in a hotel room. That was bad because anyone could do something to us. But this is a hotel we stayed. It was to be in another name, a hotel name. I believe it was either Howard John. No, I believe it was Howard Johnson or Travelodge. But we stayed. Me and my mom stayed in this hotel back in 2002. But anyway, after after me and my mom and sister got evicted from Claremont, we lived in Studio Six. My mom couldn't keep up with Studio Six because she had to ask she had to ask our uncle Vern, our uncle that for some money because we didn't have enough money to pay for Studio Six. We were running out of money, and I still didn't have no job. So after Studio Six, and my mom started to get a job. Well, she had a job, but they were started paying her. We had to move from Studio Six to Sun and Suites. Then we moved from Sun and Suites to Lake Cecile Motel, and that's the time where I was starting to concentrate on my concepts and started sharing them on the internet. But I got banned for talking about my experiences on socialanxiety.com. Permanently banned. I forgot my old account password, or either I forgot or I didn't want to use it on a new IP address. So I created a new account, and some person was having an argument with me, and the people on the thread didn't understand me, and the moderator didn't understand me. So I got permanently banned. And when I looked at the reason why I got permanently banned, it just mentioned troll. It mentioned that I'm a troll. The moderator said troll, TROLL, and I'm like, what? What? All I just talked about was my experience in the special ed program. How is it? How is it that I'm talking about my experience and it's leading to, it's making people triggered? It triggered the person. The person wrote something about the IEP. They didn't have an understanding about my situation. So they started arguing with me, and I cursed at the person, and I was called a troll. The person made fun of me, and I started trying to figure out that I sat down in a room all by myself, figuring out that something isn't right with the way people speak to me. Something's definitely not right. Why is this happening to me? What is so different about me than other people? Am I actually truly that special than others? I don't consider myself special. But why is it that I'm put in the same category? Why is it that when I talk about my experiences and ideas, it leads to an argument, no matter what subject I talk about? This could be video games, people having an argument about a third party game. This could be about this is where I'm actually having a conversation about video games on PlayStation on my PS Vita to another user, and they're making fun of my grammar. They're making fun of my grammar. They're saying we are. You don't understand your English, stupid boy. This is the experience that I'm pretty much getting all the time. People making corrections to my grammar or saying that I don't understand how to use my words, and that is saying that you know one person mentioned that my that that they're not English is not their mother language, and I speak English and I'm stupid because I don't know how to speak English. So instead, the person just kept arguing with me. So I just blocked the before. I just made no. I was playing a game session. I had a game session with several people. After I got the platinum trophy, I pretty much blocked all these people from my game session because the way I was treated is not normal. So I'm just thinking about all these things that's happening to me. Not only when I was living in Lake Cecile in 2014, also when I was living with my relatives in September, or no, around October of 2014. I started thinking about what I've experienced, how people speak to me, and how I got my testicle all messed up when I was living in Lake Cecile. When I started writing about my ideas online, talking about rather than just ideas. I know what I mean by ideas. I was just talking about the Pope and the President and the Queen, and I was talking about how families can't small families who are living in hotels and motels don't have enough money to pretty much get an apartment or a house, and at the Illuminati age. So I started using the term Illuminati. I heard the term Illuminati from my friends in high school. I heard them always talk about it, but I don't think they really have a good understanding. So I was just thinking about who's making this happen, like how people get into relationships, how people get a job. Something's, I feel as if their minds are or rather than saying their mind, their thoughts are missing, and there's someone else thinking for them rather than them thinking for themselves when they're in a situation of getting a job, in a situation of starting a relationship. That someone make these choices for them, where they see that people who are tall, or people who are muscular, or people who have nice or women who have nice breasts or butt, that someone makes these choices for them to show how they're interested in the opposite sex or the same sex. I'm starting to just give an explanation, trying to go with it. So I just said that the Illuminati wants people to be put in these situations. That they want to pretty much control society. Something's not right. Someone's making. I say that it's impossible for people at this time to make decisions on their own. It's it doesn't seem at the time how I phrase the word. I said that I said that people someone I would mention about their thoughts, their minds, and impossible human manipulation skills. That's how I phrase it. It was impossible. So I end up getting my left testicle hit. So that's why when I talk, I give a long explanation. I would connect them that there's definitely something not right with the way I'm uh I'm situated, and also the way people talk to me. So when I created my video on April 2021, this is what I was talking about. And it really gets on my nerve to note that there's someone talking to me, but they're not really using their mind. Someone else is speaking for them instead, based on their words. So the subscriber used the word black comedy. She compares my situation to black comedy, even though she said that she's a person, what you call targeted individual. But I don't say that that's the correct idea. I say that someone created that term for people to not come to realization that there's a multi-agent quantum AI computers managing humanity, or you could say governing the citizens, and they're all put into these social brackets in their environment. The AI categorize them in their environment. So instead of saying black comedy, the proper term for it would be dark comedy. She should have mentioned dark comedy, but bringing up you know shows, bringing up about dark comedy to this genre, this is not the time to say that to a person who's been struggling all these years with getting a job or trying to fit in with society. So this is where I showed my face. Around April 2021, I showed my face for the first time to my viewers, and this is when she replied to me. And I'm like, why is it that she waited all these months to reply to me? You know, all these months to reply to my or you could say to respond to my videos. I mean, I have all these videos that I've uploaded since October of 2020, and until I showed my face is where she pretty much took me serious and just left a comment because she saw my face and she saw that I was African American. She used the word black comedy instead of saying dark comedy, and I created a video of her saying that, showing people that the way she's talking is not natural, and then she called me rude, and then she said that she said LOL, laugh out loud, and then called me rude, and then mentioned that I'm obsessive, and then she pretty much unsubscribed to me. It's shocking. It shocks me actually. My mind. I never I never had anything happen like this before on YouTube. But I've had this experience on communities where people would start arguing with me, or there was a time in 2013 or 14 where this person mentioned that I'm inconsiderate. This was on Waybuilder, and I said something to the person. He called me illiterate. So I'm like, what does illiterate have to do with anything? So he kept lecturing me about what I wrote, as if as if as if he thinks that I don't know how to write or what I'm saying. So I gave an infraction. I keep giving him an infraction because he started personally attacking me, and then he created a new account saying this is the truth. I'm saying to myself, what the hell is going on? So the person, when he created I believe when he didn't create, that was before when he created the account. He mentioned that I think that I'm a genius and I think that I know everything. Something. He was talking to me as if he's acquainted with me, right? I don't know the person at all, and he doesn't know me, because the same person was also talking about my height. Like, he's mentioned that he's 6'4" and he's taller than me. These are he's talking about my insecurities as if he knows me, right? Like my height and my thoughts, and I'm saying to myself, wait, why is he talking to me this way? It's familiar. He speaks like my teachers and my classmates. Like the character, the way he used those words shows me a character. I'm familiar with this character, and I've seen this character before. I've seen this character in school, and these characters are my teachers and my classmates. How I'm treated by my teachers. How my teachers saying that my writing. I was in 10th grade, and they mentioned that my writing's on 5th grade level, and how that I don't know how to write proper sentences, or I don't know how to use words. They all talk the same way. So I'm starting to having it. This is coming from my experience. I'm seeing that there's more than one person behaving this way, and I'm trying to figure out all my since 2010. I've been trying to figure out why people are talking this way to me. I would go on the internet. I remember coming from school, and I would try to search for people who experienced being in a special ed program and having people like having their teachers talk to them silly. I see my special ed teachers don't they don't talk to my other classmates like this. Only to me. Something wasn't right. The way they speak to me is out of character. They don't speak like a teacher. They speak like I'm a like I'm some sort of like I'm a stranger out on the streets, or they speak to me like I'm some sort of hoodlum. Oh, it was weird. Rather than saying hoodlum, the way they talk to me is not natural. It's weird, and I couldn't like figure out what the hell that is. I don't understand what is that. Wow, what the hell am I experiencing? As well as on the internet. During those times, I would have people also speak to me this way on the internet. I can't like I see the same character when I was on a teen chat room. I had a complete stranger told me when I mentioned about my favorite song. I just mentioned that my favorite song, or mentioned about my a person that I know of as like a musician, and they would use that as a prime example to say that I'm stupid, and that the person that I talking about, like the musician, this could be a rapper, this could be like Tupac. They would say that Tupac is the most intelligent person, and you're not. You're very slow. They would just say that. And I would have a friend. I had a friend named Marada. He's African. You know, he was from he's from Africa, and I remember I was standing at the train station, and he was talking to me, and then all of a sudden he just mentioned, I was saying something to him, and he just mentioned to me that I'm slow. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? That it's the character. This character has been shown to me before. I'm looking at the way the people speak to me, and I see the same character. That's when I started to come to realization that there's someone making them speak this way to me. I never had the time to, even though I go on the internet to search for people, I never had the time to actually, search up about their minds or anything. I just use my own idea and my experience. That's like me. If anyone knows me, they know that I always do stuff like this. I would just try figuring things out on my own. This is the only way that I can actually understand myself and understand the situation. That someone actually gave these people a mind that is pretty much not theirs. It doesn't exist at that time when they're speaking to me. Someone else is speaking rather than them. Trying to figure out why is this happening over and over. It's endless. It's freaking endless, man. You're not supposed to be having people speak the same way to you or showing the same character. And it gets on my nerves. I'm getting angry to see a person use the word black comedy in a sentence and then get mad at and not being aware of what they're saying, and not just black comedy, just kind of using the word comedy, because TV using a TV using TV as an example, or shows as an example to relate to my situation is really a bad example. This is reality here. I've been dealing with this since I was a child, not just in 2012 or 11. I've been doing this since I was a little kid, having people behave strangely. And I just couldn't, I just couldn't deal with it no more. The YouTube channel and the subscribers. So I'm looking at my videos now. Just just when I think that I'm done with my subscriber, I'm looking at my videos being reported. I'm saying to myself, what the hell is going on here? And I'm like overwhelmed with my classes. I'm saying to myself, wait, this video this video is from 2017. What the hell does that have to do? Why is it? Who the hell is reporting my video in 2021. This is an old video. I had to do some sort of appeal for this video, and this video is not even sexual or anything. I'm just talking about how a complete stranger on the community is is using my past posts and my signature as a prime example that my posts and my and or you could say overall whatever I'm doing on the community is irrelevant. He's telling me that whatever I'm saying is irrelevant and utterly useless. What the hell does that have to do with age restriction? And why? You see, when I click appeal, it says our team has reviewed your content and we don't think it's in line with our guidelines. And I'm just talking about how the multi-agent quantum AI computers at the time allows a member who fits into a certain criteria based on their thought patterns and emotion patterns that was experienced with them in their own environment to personally singled. I meant to say, I know it's runoff. Singled out a human being who is capable of producing their own idea to allow human awareness to open up to notice the absolute pattern of this existence. Is executed in response that use the correct form of word that corresponds with this existence because the artificial intelligence can detect how accurate the responses are based on the word itself and how it matches the sequence to this existence. I'm showing how people are speaking to me, right? Using examples. So I don't understand how is an age restriction. This makes no sense. So I said to myself, wait, this is just not this is not the only video that's being reported. There's other videos that are being reported. Now, how I'm going to handle this when I have how I'm going to handle this when I have an elementary statistic professor and also a world history professor. I had world history, so you can see that here. I end up getting a B plus. That is, this world history professor, she continues to keep uploading assignments. She keeps giving she keeps giving assignments on Blackboard over and over and over. It is it's ridiculous because I'm up all the way to midnight morning. I'm up to I wake up in the morning time and I go to sleep like 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock a.m. in the morning. Depends on the amount of assignments that she gives me. But there's only I watch this world history class started with at least 18 people. It went from 18 to 16, then it went from 16 to 12, then it went from 11, and then it went from 7. And on a discussion board for this course, there's only like 6 people or 6 to 7 people leaving or pretty much creating threads on the discussion board for World History 2 course out of 18 people in the class. Wow. Not a single classmate reported a professor how she's not going over the material. She wants the student to teach themselves. Like she wants us to go over several articles or videos that she uploaded on Blackboard, and she wants us to have get an understanding from that instead of her summarizing the information for us. Right? She's supposed to have a class, and then she summarized the information to us. Like this is what you should do when you're writing your essay. This is what you do when you're doing the exam. I had American history or American and global history in the 11th grade, and I got a 90. I was able to pass the exams with good marks, and I was able to do presentation, knowing exactly what I'm talking about, and I memorized exactly what my teacher said. I didn't need no textbook. My professor was pretty much the textbook himself. He gave me the correct information that I needed to prepare me for the regents and also his exams and also the essays. This professor is not doing anything like that. That's why I struggled during this semester. This semester was difficult because not only that I'm struggling in the world history course, I'm struggling with my math because this professor doesn't want to go over the questions on Lumen. He's not showing us and not only showing us, going over the questions with us. And I asked my classmates on WhatsApp app about what's happening with the professor. They said that, yeah, something wrong with the professor. They said that they're not really learning anything from the professor. One person mentioned that they had to go to YouTube. One person mentioned that they went on no, they went to a tutor, and some of the tutor doesn't know some of the material from the statistic course. They said they never learned this, or they don't know what the hell it is. There would be there would be a response about what do you call it, confidence interval, and it seems like the tutor doesn't know how to solve the equation, doesn't understand what it's talking about. He doesn't know the formula. So the person who went to the tutor said to me that that it's a waste of time. They're they're not making any effort on the exam. There seems to be, when they take the exam they get 60. When I was taking the exam I kept getting 60 because I don't have time to teach myself the math when I have a freaking world history course, and not only world history course, I have black psychology. I had to keep up with that. I had intro to sociology. I had to keep up with that. So I tried breaking down the the assignments for myself. So I said to myself, all right, I can't keep up. So my mom said that she wants to do some of my work for me. So I said, okay, if you want to do some, okay, because I need to focus on this elementary statistic. I tried finding the formula on Google and algebra.com. They didn't really give me a formula. They tell me to use a graphing calculator to solve the equation, because the graphing calculator is the one that actually have the formula. At the end, the professor didn't show us anything for the final exam. He just showed us a blank board. And I'm just like saying to myself and also my classmate, does this professor get paid for us to stare at a blank board? So I just got irritated, and then I just spent 20 something dollars on check.com. That's how much I spent, $20, so I can actually find the formula, and I just used that. That contributed for my D. I used it to help me solve the equations for my final exam, and also do the rest of my homeworks that I didn't get to finish. I'm not too sure about the world history course. If the teacher, I don't think the teacher got my last assignment, because she kept uploading assignments, and I kept having exams and also presentations. This professor doesn't realize that I have other classes. So when I told her about, was it during March or April, I told her that I have other classes. I can't be focused on her only on her assignments, because she's stretching it. This professor seems to not understand how to teach the class, because you're supposed to inform the class that this group or this individual is going to work on what such and such statue. I didn't know I didn't know what my classmates are working on, what statue they're working on. So every statue that I pick, someone in my class was working on, and it kept delaying me from studying my elementary statistics. I end up, you know how much I end up getting on the exam? I end up getting like a 0 or a 10 on the no on the I got a 10 on the exam because of my world history professor. It's ridiculous. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna pause my YouTube channel. I'm pausing my YouTube channel. As I pause my YouTube channel, I see that there was one subscriber who was commenting about on my YouTube. He left a comment on my YouTube video, and he was mentioning about God or the Bible. And I was saying that it's not that. I'm talking about an artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence is your damn God. That supercomputer has been governing humanity since the birth of this planet. And religion is created by the programmers. They don't want you to come to a realization about what they're doing. Why is it that the programmers need to hide our minds, right? The programmers are the ones who making the supercomputers hide our minds. The programmers is the one who's pretty much putting us in these situations. Doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, or middle class. You're you're always being observed by the artificial intelligence and the programmers 24/7. They keep an eye on you, and whatever they the AI judges your actions. Even though it hides your mind, it judges you. You watch pornography, it watches you watch porn, and how you think of another the same sex or the opposite sex, it pretty much changes the way people think about you. You don't need to talk to them or have any you don't need to have any interaction with you. Their minds already been pre-programmed with information loaded to pretty much interact with you with these details. So if you're looking at a female butt, or there's a certain thought you have about a female butt, or a breast or a face. I remember when I was in class, I think there was a time where I did watch one porn video when I was in the shelter, but I was a teenager. Next following day, one of my classmates they just started the sentence with, "But just said to me, do you like butts?" And then all of a sudden they said, "Are you a man or are you a boy?" That same time I get these questions from my classmate. I said to myself, I've heard of this before. There was someone else said that, something is I heard it from somewhere, but I don't know where. Okay, I remember watching this poor video last night, but I don't. I was just looking at it. That's it. I was just looking at it and just went to sleep. After that, or either I went to sleep or I was just looking at video games. And then when she mentioned about it, if I'm a boy, I mean, if I'm a man or a boy, I thought about how I was in the past, maybe a few weeks ago or a month ago, and this kid or this little toddler was touching me, and then the lady said to the kid, "Leave that man alone." Then when I remember another time when I was in a park, so this was after my classmate mentioned this, a little boy was bothering me when I was sitting in the park, and his mother said, "Leave that boy alone." So I'm saying that these questions corresponds. I'm saying to myself, I'm starting to have an idea. Who's putting me in these situations? How is it reoccurring over and over? Get an idea. That's why I'm saying that the artificial intelligence judges what you do in your environment 24/7. I started picking up and learning more about it as I do these things. I try to exploit it myself, just to have an idea about what this hell this place is, man. I don't think not a single person on this planet, but besides me, know what this place is. Because I started connecting my ideas, and I started learning about the technologies and also the program. I'm starting to learn how to create my own mind for myself rather than the people. And when I started doing that, the people online started making fun of the way I speak, the way I talk. They make fun of my appearance. They make fun of the way I walk. They make fun of everything about me. And I'm just used to being on my. I'm just used to I'm just used to being alone. I don't have any interaction. I don't have no friends. I don't have no contact on my phone. I'm just working on my own. And human beings need interaction to soothe their emotions and to get train their minds to communicate with people or be around people. This is how you adapt to being around people. The more you interact with people, the more you'll be able to adapt to others. So this is it for this video. Thanks for watching.